Hey MFFLs, get subscribed to Dallas Mavericks today because we are so close to 15,000 subscribers. That is a huge milestone on YouTube, so help us get there, and we'll continue to bang out the latest news and rumors around your Dallas Mavericks. I know it's been a few days since a video, but we got some juicy rumors and a piece of news to get into. That's all coming up right now. You're watching Dallas Mavericks Today. I am Harrison Graham, your host. You can follow me on Twitter at HGrahamNFL, talking some NBA, NFL on a daily basis over there. Let's get into today Mavericks rumors right now. Luka, does he want Goran Dragic? Well, certainly appears that way. Posted a photo working out with Dragic on Instagram earlier this week. They've spent some time together in Slovenia this offseason, and it's been pretty well documented that Goran Dragic does not want to play with the Toronto Raptors this season. He's spent the last few years with the Miami Heat on a contending team. Toronto's kind of in a bubble playoff situation, more likely more of a rebuild type of team right now, and with him being in his mid-30s, it makes sense that he does not want to be part of that team, whereas Dallas at least has a chance to contend in the Western Conference. Here's the photo that Luka posted, getting some work in the offseason with his fellow Slovenian Goran Dragic. They're close, they're buddies. Obviously, Dragic's been a mentor to Luka as he's over 10 years older than him. So this story continues to evolve, right? Because the Mavs and Dragic have mutual interest, but the problem's been that he has $19.7 million on the last year of his contract this year, which is why I believe Dragic will not be in Dallas without a buyout. Like, they're not going to trade for that contract. Why would they? He's a good player. He's not worth $20 million, though. So unless Toronto and Dragic agree to a buyout, or he gets traded elsewhere, and then the Mavs acquire him down the road or something like that, or they just sign him after this season, it's not going to happen this year. That's the only way it happens, is if he enters free agency via buyout. So what do you guys think? Will Goran Dragic end up with the Mavs at some point this year? Type Y for yes, type in for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. So will Goran Dragic end up with Dallas at some point this year? Go ahead and answer this question. You look at the Mavericks' current lineup, obviously if you add Dragic in there, he can come off the bench, he can start, you'd get an extra playmaker in your backcourt. Right now, I think it's going to look something like this. Luka, Tim Hardaway in your backcourt. Reggie Bullock is going to be your 3-and-D small forward. Dorian Finney-Smith or Kleber could start at the 4 with Kristaps at the 5. Maybe Kristaps is the 4 with Kleber at the 5 if he starts. I like Dodo as the stretch 4 because he's a good, versatile defender and he can shoot the rock as well. I like Kleber coming off the bench. But you get Dragic in there, it's an extra playmaker, which is what this team really needs. He dipped a little bit last year in production, but still a good player. 13.5 points, 4.5 assists, still shot over 37% from three-point range. I think he would fit in very well, and he would be that secondary playmaking guard that Dallas needs. And the nice thing about Dragic is he doesn't have to play on the ball to be effective. He can be a catch-and-shoot guy. He can play off ball. He can start. He can come off the bench. He can do a multitude of roles for this basketball team if he does end up becoming a Dallas Maverick. So I'm going to continue to monitor this situation. Luka has made it pretty clear, I think, that he wants him. I think Dragic's made it pretty clear that he wants out of Toronto and into Dallas, but that whole $19.7 million contract is what's standing in the way. So we'll see kind of what evolves over the next couple of weeks as we get closer and closer to training camp at the end of this month. Can't believe it. Basketball is almost back as we are we're already into the month of September. Today's show is sponsored by BetUS. I mentioned basketball season is also here. Well, you know what season is here? Football season. College football gets going tonight, and the NFL gets going next week after all of the preseason action. Get a 125% deposit bonus with BetUS when you use our link below, chatsports.com/MFFL, promo code MFFL, and go bet on the Cowboys. I know a lot of you guys are Cowboys fans. They're getting 7.5 points against the Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football a week from today. The total over-under between these two teams is 51.5. I like the over, but I like Dallas covering, actually, in this game. I think Tampa wins, but I think Dallas will cover. Chatsports.com/MFFL. Use that promo code MFFL. Make some money. Put down $100. They're going to give you $125 for free. #math with that 125% deposit bonus. Let's keep the rumors flowing. How about trading for Ben Simmons? So Simmons has told the Sixers that he wants out of Philadelphia. A lot of speculation right now. Chris Broussard even threw out that He's willing to play for any of the other 29 teams, just not Philly. Don't know if it's quite to that level, but we do know that he has met with the Sixers front office and said, I want out. I don't want to play in Philadelphia anymore. Now, the Sixers have had a high asking price for Simmons. I believe they still do. That being said, that price could lower because, let's be honest, the Sixers just lost some leverage now that it's become public knowledge that Ben Simmons has vocalized that he wants out of Philadelphia. When a player goes to you and says, I want out and I'm not going to go report to training camp, that hurts the team's chances of maximizing a trade. That's just how that works, because the other 29 teams are saying, why would I trade you 2-3 first-round picks and a superstar for Ben Simmons when he's not even going to show up to training camp? Now, they're still going to get a good amount for him and probably some good pieces, but you're not going to get what you would have gotten 6 months ago for Ben Simmons. That's just the simple fact of the matter. The Sixers could have had James Harden in a Ben Simmons trade. They're not getting a player of that caliber. There's just no way when it comes to Ben Simmons. So the leverage has been lowered, and that's going to be very interesting to see how Daryl Morey and Philadelphia approach this over the next month or so. Should the Mavs jump into the Ben Simmons trade sweepstakes and trade for him? Type T for trade, type P for pass. What do you guys think when it comes to Dallas and Ben Simmons? I would probably pass on Simmons. I still can't get that, that postseason run out of my head. It was just rough. He's scared to shoot the ball. He doesn't work on his outside jump shot. You see the clips from, when he's playing at Planet Fitness in the summer of him pulling up from three. But when he's playing Billy Smith, who's, selling real estate as his day job, it doesn't really impress me that much. Until he becomes a shooter that's at least willing to shoot the ball, I don't know if I can take his max contract on my basketball team right now. You compare the season stats, sure, the efficiency was better in the playoffs, or it was similar in the playoffs, but then the free throw percentage, 34%, that was brutal. He just was not willing to shoot the ball in the playoffs, and teams know that. So they just pack the paint, and they just let Ben Simmons dribble 30 feet from the basket, and it's a major, major problem. I'll take it a step further, too. I think Ben Simmons is mentally soft. He can't handle the Philadelphia Heat. That's why he wants out of there, which we know how passionate those fans are up there in Philadelphia. He can't deal with that. Do I want that mindset on my basketball team if I'm the Mavericks? I don't think I do. You're already dealing with someone who has questionable mental toughness in Kristaps Porzingis right now. I don't want another one on board. And I don't think, and to be honest, if you're going to trade for Simmons, you have to move KP. Why would the Sixers want Kristaps Porzingis? It's just not going to happen unless it's a crazy 3 or 4 team trade where, Porzingis goes to OKC, Simmons comes to Dallas, and other pieces sparse to the other 2 teams. And even then, it just seems like a major, major long shot. So I mentioned KP as well. Who's the better player right now? Because I think this is very much up for debate. Who would you rather have? Type BS for Ben Simmons. Type KP for Kristaps Porzingis. The one thing Simmons has for the most part is he doesn't get hurt nearly as much as KP, although there have been some injury concerns. So get your votes in. BS, KP, which player would you rather have? Little piece of Mavs news before we sign off. They have signed Jaquori McLaughlin to a 2-way contract. Played at Oregon State, then transferred to UC Santa Barbara for his final 2 years of college basketball. Wasn't drafted, but he was the Big West Player of the Year this past year. Best player in his conference that he played in. So that's something notable. Nate Hinton got released. He was one of the 2-way guys for the Mavs. Didn't play well in Summer League, so the Mavs cut him loose, and now they have filled that spot by signing McLaughlin here. You look at his numbers from his senior year at UC Santa Barbara. 16 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 41% from 3. He can shoot. He can score. I mean, obviously, he's playing at small school level college ball, but did some decent stuff at Oregon State before he transferred as well, which is, of course, a Power 5 basketball program. So we'll see what happens here. You never know what's going to happen with these 2-way guys. Can they develop into something more? Maybe. Is it more likely that he's just a G League guy? Probably, but you get him into training camp, you see what he does in the preseason. Maybe he shows you a little bit of something as we get closer and closer to the upcoming season. That's all for today's show. I want to remind you guys to subscribe to us here at Dallas Mavericks Today. The link is down below. youtube.com/MavsTV. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers, just over 200 away. Help us get there, and we will see you very soon.